Welcome, dear friends, to the Stone New Camera. For me, the matter is already settled. I think the starting signal has long been given. We have been waiting for this exact moment. We wanted the charts to finally present us with the signs we are now seeing, and they are doing just that. I think some coins have already triggered, and they are not just any coins. Coins, these are the most powerful coins by market capitalization in this market, already showing us the direction it will take. I will address this in this video, my dear ones. Therefore, like this video if you enjoy what you see here, and subscribe to this channel to continue enjoying honest content like this. And for those of you who still want to shop before this explosion comes and want to secure 10 euros, go through our link in the video description to Bitvavo, my dear ones. You are here. EU regulated and cash financed via Bitvavo at Hype. Here, through your two-factor authentication, you have a 100,000 euro insurance on your funds and your assets. And your assets are stored in a foundation so that in the event of insolvency of this platform, your funds and your assets are secured. Here you have one of the lowest trading fees at 0.025%, not only in Germany but worldwide. That's why you go through our link in the video description to Bitvavo and shop safely here. And secure yourself your 10 euros, and the pile of rubbish continues, of course. Now, after the presidents and the wives of the presidents have tried their hand at Memecoins, the good Kanye West is coming and says, hey, it's time for me to launch my own blockchain. I suppose he means that he wants to release a meme coin. And that it's just gambling, that it has nothing to do with investment. I believe most people should have understood that by now. This is pure gambling, my dear ones. Coins probably hate cryptos because of all these meme coins. Because to me it's the same. To me it has nothing to do with investment. As soon as you start investing larger amounts here, I understand if some go in with small amounts and hope to make a lot of money. But anyone who even remotely invests a serious amount here hasn't understood it. And I think this will be another rug pull, another Bitcoin like millions of others we see in this market. But it's good to see that the scale these coins are now taking on is getting smaller and smaller. Yes, from Donald Trump's coin to Melania coin, from Dave Portney to the Central African Republic. The president there also released a My coin to CZS Dog to Argentinians. The president didn't release it himself, but he promoted it, and now Kanye West is coming. Yes, so the bubbles are getting smaller and smaller, which is a good sign. It simply shows that the market is slowly understanding what this is about, that we have reached a saturation point with this meme coin junk. And that soon, funds can flow into stable projects. And what dimension this can take on, we can see here with Mr. Fuck You, who was also known as I'm really poor, gambled away all his money with meme coins, and actually did so in a live stream. As you can see, he held the weapon to his head, pulled the trigger several times until he died. Live. And because he couldn't bear that he had lost all his savings, he gambled away his last $500 here. And I specifically say gambled on a meme coin and took his own life here. During a live stream, my dear friends, at this point I had to get this off my chest. No matter how much money you might lose here, even if you have invested in some legitimate project, and the thing just drops enormously. No money in the world can outweigh a life, my dear friends. No matter how much you have lost, those are just costs or expenses, nothing more. Then that's just how it is. Then we simply start over. We start from zero. Where's the problem? Where's the problem? Don't we have to keep living anyway? Doesn't it perhaps make life even more exciting than it is? But we humans, we have this trait. We always compare ourselves to society and, oh, now I'm a failure because I didn't make it. I invested somewhere and lost all my money. Sure, in his case, this was complete gambling, but there are also many legitimate projects that people have invested in, and if they happen to fall sharply, then you're initially deep in the red. Therefore, my dear ones, no amount of money in the world can outweigh even a second of life. You can't even buy back a second of life. No amount of money is worth giving your life for. Don't look left and right. It doesn't matter at all what others think about you. Then we just start from scratch, that's how it is. Hey, I had no problem with that. losing everything I have worked for so far, I would just start from the beginning. I would see it as an opportunity. I would look up, thank God, and say, okay, if this is what you have placed in my path, then I will also take this path. Yes, then I will start from the beginning. Yes. We must always see the positive in all these things, yes, but we can also always see the negative. Yes, that's why. It was important for me to briefly get this off my chest, my dear ones. So please stop with all this meme coin garbage. That's gambling, really. That's gambling, and it needs to come to an end. And I hope governments will also slowly start moving in this direction to regulate it accordingly. But let's get back to the topic, my dear ones. This here is the Bitcoin chart with Bitcoin, return on investment after halvings. And here in green, we see the current progression of the fourth halving cycle. In yellow, we see the third. In red, the second, that is the 2017 cycle. And in blue, the 2013 cycle. As we can see here, we have always had different progressions, but in terms of time frame, in terms of the chronological sequence, we have ultimately always done the same thing. We have repeatedly entered the same phases, the parabolic phase. Sure, in 2021 we experienced as though double top, and in 2017 we saw a relatively continuous rise upwards. In 2013 we set such a strong top, cultures, and another top, meaning a two-cyclical rise, if you can call it that. And now, currently, we have had this phase where we had such a grueling 7-month-long flag, followed by a strong rise again. And we are flagging again now, already for 3 months, over 3 months. Just think about that. So, this time it seems to be unfolding like a staircase, but as we can see here, according to the data from the past, the black area, which has not yet been filled in with the green line, currently demonstrates to us that there is still a lot of potential upwards. CryptoAsh also presents this chart here. This is the others chart, which means all cryptocurrencies, the market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies, excluding Ethereum and Bitcoin, and excluding the top 10 strong coins ultimately. And in relation to Bitcoin, not in relation to the US dollar, but as a Bitcoin pair. So others in relation to Bitcoin. Now take a look at this. Take a look at the phase we are in. Here he shows the first Altseason. He shows the second Altseason here. And we are testing exactly this lower line and are on the verge of the third Altseason. And the question we must ask ourselves now is, how high will we go? We still haven't seen strong all-time highs, my dear ones. This is just the beginning. We clearly see that Bitcoin dominance is rising sharply while Bitcoin has been well accumulated. Ethereum is now slowly rising. XRP ETH has risen strongly. When will these funds from these extremely strong legitimate coins, including Solana, and we are already seeing that a lot of money is flowing from Solana towards Ethereum. Currently, when will these profits of the giants trickle down and crumble into the other Bitcoins and pump them up? And when that happens, I mean, we will experience an enormously strong rise here. Currently, if you look at the long liquidation areas, there is potential for us to go back to the 94,600 mark, and that these will still be taken along before the market turns and the mark above the 97,000 mark also takes the short liquidation. If this happens overnight, we know very well that we always see very strong volatilities there. From Sunday to Monday, we are paving the way. Yes, I think it is actually the most relaxed time for me. Yes, because I am relatively confident with my analyses that I currently have in the back of my mind. And for me, it's really just a phase where I lean back. You see it, how everyone is panicking Bybit or this information. I know very well that it's all smoke and mirrors. That the market will do what it has to do anyway. And that keeps me relatively calm. I don't believe in all this noise that's currently being circulated by elections ultimately to unsettle people so they sell and then they can buy cheaply again. That's why I'm relatively relaxed about it. That naturally makes me extremely positive as well. Yes, take a look at this. We have here with the moving averages in yellow, this is the 100-day moving average price, and here in orange, the 200-day. Moving average price on the weekly chart for Ethereum, my dear ones. Take a look at this. We experienced a golden cross a few weeks ago, my dear ones. Take a look at this. This is a very strong positive sign. The last time we were able to experience this beautiful golden cross, the run completely began. We went into the parabolic phase with the all-time high in 2021. And I think this is a sign that this can soon go parabolic. From the moment we broke above the 200 here, we have actually only found strong support in these areas. And we also haven't broken the 100 significantly downwards. Of course, we had this wick here a few days ago when everything went down, but the support held again at that point, and that makes me extremely positive, my dear ones. When Ethereum finally starts to move with Bitcoin, then that's a strong sign. Because it is, after all, by market capitalization and by 24-hour traded volume. The second strongest, and thus the second most powerful cryptocurrency, where, after Bitcoin, the most capital is invested. No matter what I think of Ethereum, no matter how I feel about this blockchain, that's just a fact, right? And when Ethereum starts to give us positive signs, then that's positive for the entire market. Especially when it goes hand in hand with Bitcoin. And it does. And don't forget, what has happened again in the last few days is Tether has started pouring billions upon billions into the market again, my dear ones. Yes. Many are probably wondering, oh, hasn't that had any effect again now, right? They have pressed it. Usually has a somewhat delayed effect when these stablecoin issuers release huge amounts of stablecoins. Then these will also flow into Bitcoin and pump the market up significantly. And as we can see, it's not just the Tether dominance, but USDC is also pumping enormously here due to this MiCA regulation and ultimately, the ban on Tether, or rather the fact that some crypto exchanges are removing Tether, has given USDC a strong boost in the European market. And here we can clearly see that USDC, or rather the USDC supply is increasing. Here too, billions upon billions are flowing. As I just mentioned with Tether, it is often a delayed movement that will follow in the crypto markets because the money usually doesn't flow in immediately. Instead, they wait for the right moment to pump everything upwards. And if we also see, as I showed you recently, that we have a similar pattern with XRP, that we had peaks, that we had middle tops, and when these middle tops were broken, we experienced new all-time highs, which then went down. Found support at these middle tops, just as we see here, the price then completely exploded and we went to new all-time highs. It raises the question for me, yes, we have Bitcoin, which is delivering extremely strong signals. We have Ethereum, which is delivering extremely strong signals. Now we have the third largest, I'm talking about the three largest cryptocurrencies in the market. All three are giving us enormously strong signals. Can you still understand why the majority is so negatively inclined? Oh yes, many Bitcoins have moved into the bear market low point area. That's why the bull run is probably over. And what do you think? What kind of constellation is this? Do you really believe if the altcoin season is supposed to start, all the altcoin prices would have to be up? And would a lot of liquidity need to be involved to drive the prices up? Or is it much easier for whales if they drop the prices completely down? Bring Bitcoin into bear market low point areas, little liquidity flows, the 24-hour traded volume of these coins is enormously low, and then they can make the prices explode with little liquidity. Just ask yourself this question, yes. And then try to evaluate and understand the whole thing again. Is it bad for an alt season that many Bitcoins are now low in the prices, or is that good? It's up to each individual how you handle the whole thing here. You know how I will handle it. In this sense, I wish everyone a pleasant Sunday, my dear ones. And Crypto Ash Heroes out.